The repair quote came back at $380. The product cost $420 18 months ago. The technician explained that the battery was glued inside a sealed housing. The replacement part had been discontinued, and the labor to attempt disassembly would likely destroy the unit anyway. Repair professionals see this outcome every day. They keep a private list of products they will not own, not because they cannot fix them, but because the manufacturer made specific decisions to ensure fixing them is economically irrational. Today, I am covering all 10 products on that list, the design decision that puts each one there, and the rebuildable alternative in every category. The modern product aesthetic, seamless, minimal, no visible fasteners, smooth surfaces from edge to edge, is not purely a design preference. It is a business model. A product with no visible fasteners and an adhesive bonded housing cannot be opened without destroying it. A product with proprietary pentalobe screws cannot be serviced without a tool the manufacturer controls. A product with firmware pairing requirements cannot accept a replacement component without manufacturer authorization. These are not engineering constraints. The framework laptop is thin, modern, and fully modular. The Fairphone is slim, capable, and scores a 10 out of 10 on repairability. Fixable design is a choice. The sealed version is also a choice, made by a different department for a different reason. The products that define the mid-20th century were designed around a different assumption, that the consumer owned the product and repair extended that ownership. Mid-century appliances, tools, and electronics were assembled with standard Phillips and flathead fasteners, built with modular components, and supported by published service manuals and guaranteed parts availability for the product's expected lifespan. A repair professional was a distribution channel, not a threat. The assumption was that a repaired product was a satisfied customer. Beginning in the 1990s, three converging forces dismantled that assumption. Planned obsolescence became a margin strategy. A replaced product generates a new sale. A repaired product does not. Proprietary fastener systems voided DIY repair without manufacturer involvement. And right-to-repair suppression became active corporate policy, with manufacturers lobbying against legislation that would require published service manuals or independent parts access. The result is a product landscape where the manufacturer's preferred outcome at failure is not repair, it is replacement. The product did not become unrepairable because repair is technically impossible. It became unrepairable because the manufacturer made specific design decisions to ensure repair is economically irrational. iFixit has published repairability scores across hundreds of consumer product categories since 2010. The trajectory is consistent. Average scores across consumer electronics, appliances, and power tools have declined in every major category over that period. The repair industry has tracked a parallel shift, revenue moving from component-level repair toward whole unit replacement service as the components become inaccessible and the parts disappear. And the 10 specific products repair professionals will not own, and the design decision that puts each one on the list. Number 10 is the Nespresso pod coffee machine and its category equivalents. The heating element is sealed into a proprietary plastic housing with no serviceable access points. Descaling port access was removed from post-2015 models. The primary failure modes, heating element degradation and pump seal failure, are both non-accessible. OEM repair cost exceeds replacement cost on every model in the line. iFixit score, 1 out of 10. Number 9 is the Samsung Frame TV. The OLED panel is bonded directly to the decorative frame housing with structural adhesive. Panel replacement, the primary failure mode on any OLED display, requires destroying the frame. Repair cost runs 90% of new unit price. The product is designed to be replaced with next year's model, not repaired. Number 8 is the Dyson V-series cordless vacuum, V10 and later. The battery pack is glued and clipped into the handle assembly with no non-destructive access path. Battery degradation is the primary failure mode on every cordless vacuum. It is the only component that fails on a predictable timeline, regardless of use. Dyson charges $100 for the battery, and the labor requirement effectively adds $80 more. But the more fundamental problem is that the battery cannot be reached without destroying the handle. The repair professional writes the estimate. The customer buys a new one. Number 7 is the smart thermostat, Ecobee and Nest 3rd generation and later. The Wi-Fi module and control board are integrated as a single non-separable assembly. Wi-Fi chip failure is the primary failure mode at year 4 to 5. When it fails, the entire unit must be replaced. No component-level repair is possible. The thermostat that controlled your HVAC system for 4 years becomes a $180 wall decoration with a dead chip. But before the next entry, there is one product on this list that repair professionals describe as the most cynical design decision in consumer electronics. Not the most complex, not the most expensive, the most deliberate. Number 6 is AirPods, and every true wireless earbud in the category regardless of brand. The battery cell is bonded inside a non-openable housing with structural adhesive. There is no non-destructive path to the cell on any model. Battery degradation is not a failure mode. It is the designed end of the product's ownership cycle, rated for 2 to 3 years of regular use before capacity drops below functional threshold. A repair technician held an AirPod Pro under a microscope. The cell was bonded directly to the acoustic driver. No seam, no access point. Apple knows exactly what they're doing. This isn't engineering. It's a subscription model without the subscription. Apple charges $89 per earbud for battery service. A new pair of entry-level AirPods costs $129. The repair costs more than the replacement. The product is designed for exactly one ownership cycle, and the pricing structure of the service option confirms it. Every product above this line shares a design decision. Every product below it shares the same decision applied to something more expensive. Therefore, the list gets costlier from here. Number 5 is the modern dishwasher control board, Bosch Series 2 through 4 and Whirlpool mid-range. The board mounts inside the door panel sealed with waterproof gasket compound. Full door disassembly is required for access. The replacement board is discontinued 4 years post-model. Repair cost runs $350 to $500 on a $600 appliance. The rebuildable alternative is the Miele G-series. Published service manual, 15-year parts availability, board accessible without door removal. Number 4 is the consumer inkjet printer across all major brands. The firmware counter triggers an end-of-life error at a preset page count regardless of actual hardware condition. The printer functions. The software declares it dead. This is not component failure. It is a manufacturer-initiated shutdown of working hardware to force a replacement purchase. The rebuildable alternative is the Brother Laser series. Published drum replacement intervals, no firmware kill switch, component-level service possible at any independent shop. Number 3 is the modern thin and light laptop, MacBook Air M-series and Dell XPS thin and light. RAM and SSD are soldered directly to the motherboard. A single failed component, one $40 memory chip, requires full motherboard replacement at $600 to $900. The rebuildable alternative is the Framework laptop. Modular by design, every component user replaceable with a standard screwdriver. iFixit score 10 out of 10. Number 2 is the Smart Home Hub, Amazon Echo 3rd generation, and later, Google Nest Hub. The power supply and speaker driver are integrated into a sealed fabric housing. Both are the primary failure modes. Neither is accessible. And when the device fails, Amazon and Google direct the consumer to the replacement purchase page. No service manual exists for any model in either line. The rebuildable alternative is any wired speaker connected to a separately powered amplifier. 2 components, both independently serviceable, neither sealed. Number 1 is the modern smartphone. The iPhone 14 and Samsung Galaxy S22 and every flagship equivalent. Battery glued, screen glued, back glass glued, pentalobe and torque security fasteners throughout. Software parts pairing means a genuine Apple replacement battery purchased independently triggers a non-genuine parts warning that cannot be cleared without Apple diagnostic tools. iFixit score on the iPhone 14, 4 out of 10. Then the rebuildable alternative is the Fairphone 5. Every component user replaceable with a standard Phillips screwdriver. iFixit score 10 out of 10. 5-year warranty. Spare parts sold directly by the manufacturer. The smartphone is the flagship product of the unrepairable era. Every design decision on this list appears in the smartphone simultaneously. Here is the check before you buy anything on this list. Check the iFixit score. Check the parts window. iFixit publishes repairability scores for hundreds of products. Any score below 5 out of 10 means the manufacturer designed against repair. 8 to 10 means modular, serviceable construction. The search takes 10 seconds before purchase. Then search the model number, plus replacement parts discontinued. If results exist, the manufacturer has already published the product's end of repair date. A parts window under 5 years means the product is designed for one ownership cycle. Check the iFixit score. Check the parts window. That is it. The Repairman's Do Not Buy list is not about technical complexity. Repair professionals can fix almost anything given access to the component. The list exists because the manufacturers on it made coordinated decisions. Sealed adhesive, proprietary fasteners, software locks, parts discontinuation, to ensure that access is never granted. Every product on this list is unfixable by design, not by accident. The exit is the rebuildable alternative in each category and 2 searches before the purchase. Subscribe now. Next week, right to repair legislation. The state-by-state legal battle to force manufacturers to publish service manuals and make parts available to independent shops. Which states have passed it? Which manufacturers spent millions lobbying against it? And what it means for every product on this list if it passes nationally. That one changes everything.